Okay, so yes, I think I don't know if it started. Yes, should be recording in this moment.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, and I'm sharing the screen for the presentation. Okay. Good. We don't yet have a logo for this project, but ESME is working on that. And also we are working on the creation of a website that should be ready before the first joint staff event that will be held in France in June. Okay, this is the provisional program of our joint of our kickoff meeting. We will start with a welcome session from ESME. Then we will present all the partners. So each partner will present his group. Almost approximately 5 minutes of presentation per partner. And then we will move to the big session of this kickoff meeting, that is project objective, the working package, the presentation of the timeline, and the presentation of the joint staff event and transnational meeting project. Then we will have a participatory discussion on case studies. And finally, a part on administration and funding. So I think that we can move to the first part of this program, that is the welcome from ESME. And I invite Audrey to present our School of Engineering.
Okay, thank you very much, Andrea. So hello, everybody. I'm very happy to be there today for the kickoff of the Metamorphose project. So my name is Audrey. I'm the research director of the ESME school. And I'm very glad to welcome you for this important event. So before going through the kickoff, I would like to share a few words about our school. So to begin, the ESME is an engineering school that aims to train its students to energy and digital technologies with the sustainable innovation as a driving keyword. You can go to the next slide, please, Andrea. We have been funded more than 1 century ago, that is in 1905 in Paris. Our school is a human-sized institution that applies innovative teaching methods to train its students. And as we will discuss through the meeting, in parallel, we conduct research activities. So we have a research team gathering about 20 members. Can go on. Thank you. Let me give you some numbers about the effective that we are. Regarding the number of students, so we have more than 2,500 students, more precisely 2,700 students. Our faculty staff, including permanent and temporary members, is about 300 people coming from 20 nationalities. And because we have been funded more than 1 century ago, we are very proud to have an important alumni network gathering about 16,000 people all around the world. We are located in different towns in France. First in Paris, in the Montparnasse quarter, and also near Paris, in Ivry, where the majority of the research team is located. We have also a campus in Lyon, where we can meet Andrea Bareggi. And we have 2 other campuses in Bordeaux, more in the south, and in Lille, in the north. So regarding our training mission, our goal is to train engineers who are multidisciplinary, but also flexible. I mean that they have a nice capacity of adaptability. The engineers that we train are also able to perform in an efficient way in our globalized world. And they also are able to address and to manage the big and famous challenges of our century in the technological field as well as in the economic one. So we are training our engineers in several fields that are the following ones: energy transition, transport and mobility, smart cities, biotech and health, artificial intelligence and robotics, but also cybersecurity. So these are the major fields in which we are training our students and specializing them. So in parallel to this training mission, we have the pleasure to drive research activities that focus on energy transition, transport and mobility, and biotech and health. So this is in accordance with the fields I just presented you for the training part. But in addition to these fields, we also are part of research projects on digital technologies applied to musical teaching. So as it is the case with the virtual stage project, that is a European and collaborative project co-funded by Erasmus Plus program. And as it is now the case for our great pleasure with the MTMPHS project. So to conclude after these few words, what I can say is that we wish to all of us, through the realization and the development of the MTMPHS project, many discoveries leading to results, publications, and great successes. We wish to all of us very nice relationships between partners. And of course, we wish challenges too, because challenges, difficulties are very important to gather people and to improve our skills and knowledges. And to finish, to all of us, I wish very happiness through all these projects. So thank you very much for your attention. And if you have some question, I will be very happy to answer them. And otherwise, I will let with pleasure Andrea go on through the kickoff. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Aude, for this wonderful presentation. And maybe we can move to the next part of our kickoff meeting. So in this slide, I wrote a small description of our project and the goals that will lead to the realization of this project. Then we have also the list of the partner of this project. This is such as all the Erasmus Plus project are the project of cooperation, international cooperation between partners, and the main goal of this project can be achieved only with a deep cooperation with within all the participants to this project. That's why the kickoff meeting and the transnational meeting project and the joint staff event will not be the only occasion of being together. We will probably do also smaller meeting between smaller group of this participants to the project. But the main occasion for being all together will be the joint staff event and the transnational meeting project. I think probably this is the moment of present all the partners. So I'll stop the sharing and I invite each partner to say a word, to present his group and himself, so that we can know each other. Maybe we can start, I don't know, with the Ensemble San Felice.
Okay, thank you so much. First of all, I would like to thank Aude Henry and Esme and Francesco Cirri and Jacopo Del Gamba from Giunti, because we structured this project, this Metamorphose project together with Andrea and with Carla Zanin, who is General Manager and CEO of Ensemble San Felice. And I would like to thank all the participants of our staff. I would like to name each one of them. Here now we have Alessandra Montali, if you want to say hello, researcher and choir conductor. Alessandra.
Hello.
Yes, then we have Cecilia Iannandrea, organist, continuo player, and also concert organizer, member also of the staff of Virtual Stage Project. Then we have Dimitri Betti, continuo player, conductor, and member also of Virtual Stage Project. Then we have Guido Paolo Longo, pianist and technician, who will be very helpful for the development of some technologies of Virtual Stage in this project. And then we have Mira Dosio, soprano, and member of our group since many years. Nicola Cavina, who is our technical director of Ensemble San Felice, with whom, together with Carla, we started the first concept of Virtual Stage. And then we have, I see Timoteo Carbone, who is our composer for the case study Orfeo Entangled, and I hope I didn't miss anybody else. No. Otherwise, you can tell it by yourself. So, Ensemble San Felice was born in 1991 in the historical center of Florence, in the Church of San Felice, where we started our activity. And in the first period, this name Ensemble San Felice was given to the musical group, specifically the main repertoire was the early music and Baroque music. And after that, in 2009, we decided to move out from Accademia San Felice because the activities were too many, and we created this independent association, Ensemble San Felice. And from that period particularly, we are processing European Union projects since 1996-97. And in the last year, thanks to Carla Zanin, yes, who is the conceptor of Virtual Stage, we, during the pandemic, started to approach very deeply the digital transition declined in the music sector, and particularly to the opera sector, together with Opera Nectar, which is our main partner association. And so we started this adventure with Giunti, with Jacopo Del Gamba, Francesco Cirri, and Paolo Lippi. And we are now going on with 3 projects, which one is the virtual stage, the second one is Mediastat Virtuos, and Metamorphose is the third one. Yes, we are mainly, I just could add that we are, our activity is on productions, training, and partnerships, international partnerships. So all these 3 main activities are connected by themselves, and I think this is enough. Thank you very much.
Is it all right if I went next? Because I have a flight to catch and I might have to interrupt in a little bit.
Please.
Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go
Okay,
on.
okay. So my name is Philip Modinos. I am the founder of Hellenic Opera Corporation. For the last, I've been doing opera productions since 2009 on my own, and I've been a partner in several productions even before that. I started Hellenic Opera Corporation in 2016, and even 1 year before that with a partner, we had a monopoly in Grand Opera in Thessaloniki and Larissa. And my company was basically also the financial director for the Larissa Symphony Orchestra. We've given a lot of opportunities to many artists of all disciplines, as well as instruments and singing and staging, of course, all the costume and set design. My partners are Dimosthenis Stavrianos, who has been an excellent partner for the last almost 10 years now. And he is a wonderful baritone, as well as in charge of culture in the municipality of Metamorphose in Athens. Another partner is Richard Rittleman, who may have entered now. He actually lives in France, but he's been a partner of mine for a very long time as well. He will also be providing one of the tenors who will partake in the project. So he could speak about that partner himself. And Danai Palikoropoulou, who is, of course, a wonderful soprano who will also be partaking. As well as everybody, I was also very much affected by the pandemic. And since then, my company has also entered the field of web development. And that is one of my main jobs now. As a web developer, I work as a web developer alongside the artistic ventures. And our main success as a company has been in Greece, but we've also worked in other countries in Europe as well, with other partners, in Germany and in England and Cyprus, France. So there has been an international movement of it. That is, I think, that covers pretty much everything. So I'm very excited to be a part of the team, and you can always reach me for anything you need, my partners as well. And I look forward to everything going as we hope. Thank you.
Thank you, Philippe. Maybe we can go on with a short presentation of Giunti Psychometrics, that is also Italian partner for Metamorphose.
Okay, thank you. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
He's just gone. He was an opera organizer from Thessaloniki. Maybe you knew him. I thought.
I don't think so.
Can I share my screen now?
Sì, un secondo, subito.
Okay.
Vai.
Thank you, Federico.
Thank you.
I have a few slides to show. Okay. I am Francesco Cirri. I am the project manager of KA2 projects for Giunti Psychometrics. And today, also Jacopo Del Gamba is participating to this meeting. He is the legal representative of Giunti Psychometrics. And I will just say a few words about our company. We are a publishing company, private company. We are part of a large publishing group established in Florence more than 180 years ago. And it's the Giunti Group is the third most important Italian publishing group, and is as you can see from these are just a few examples. The Giunti Group publishes a wide range of books, from children's books to any kind of fiction or non-fiction books. There is an important two important fields where we are publishing. We are leaders in the publishing market in Italy, the psychology and school books, especially for the schools of the first grades, the primary school and early secondary school. We also have many, as you can see from this map, bookstores in many cities in Italy. Giunti Scuola is the publishing branch for the school. As I said before, it is the first one, the leader in the primary school, also is very involved in secondary school publishing with many brands. It's not only Giunti, but this is the group. The company that is participating to this project is Giunti Psychometrics, that specializes in psychometric testing. We have a research and development department that deals with selecting, localizing, and in some cases also designing, and most of all distributing psychometric tests. We have the rights for distribution in Italy and various other countries of the most important, most used tests for psychology, healthcare, and also healthcare, I mean psychiatrists, and also for the human resources sector for business. The part that is connected to the Erasmus, the part of our activities that is connected to the Erasmus KA2 projects is our training activity. We are very, very much involved in training psychologists and psychiatrists, but for a long time, we have been doing this also with digital media. So we have expertise in e-learning, in content production and learning management systems for online training. And also development of multimedia content for training. This is why we are interested in developing innovation in the training sector, also beyond the field of psychology. This led us to be involved in many. Here are some examples. Many European projects on very different topics. For example, the one that you see on the left, top left, is sorry. Clil Foriec is a project about content language integrated learning in primary school. We also have other projects addressed to secondary school, higher education, and so on. The collaboration with Federico Bardazzi and Ensemble San Felice that we began in the vocational training sector led us to develop some projects where we could apply the digital technology for training in the music sector. As we know, and as maybe Andrea and Federico will explain in detail later, there are many specific problems to training online and training with digital media in the music sector. That is why it is particularly interesting, not only for us, but also for the national agencies, I could say, because we applied for 3 projects, 2 in Italy and this one in France, and all have been financed. So it shows that there is a great interest in this topic. This is just a sample of our staff. I am working as project manager. Chiara Busdraghi is the head of the research and development staff. So she's mainly involved in the projects that are in the field of psychology. Jacopo Del Gamba is the director of the training department and legal representative, and Maurizio Massetti is our IT specialist. He's a learning management system specialist, and he's also involved in all the web applications that we are developing for the European projects, including the repositories like the one that that will be developed for this project. So, thank you. Of course, if you have questions, I will be happy to answer them, and I will also speak later about some administrative and reporting aspects.
Thanks a lot, Francesco. Maybe we can move to the presentation of GRAME, Centre National de Création Musicale en France.
Hello,
So-
everyone.
Yeah. Okay.
Stéphane, you want to start or I can?
Probably you can start, Irene.
Okay. Okay, so hello, everyone. I'm very happy to be there with every one of you this morning. My name is Irene Hontan, and I work for GRAM for educational projects. And I work with Clara Girous, who is just there. And I work with Stéphane, who will introduce himself a bit later. So GRAM was created in 1982 and is one of the 8 structures making up the network of national centers for musical creation a label created by the Ministry of Culture in 1997. GRAM is a place of hospitality and residence for composers, performers, researchers, and artists from various aesthetics. GRAM produces the BIM, a Biennale of Exploratory Music in Lyon, a highlight of transdisciplinary projects, a series of performances, concerts, and innovative exhibition based on the medium of sound for everyone. Each year, its educational and cultural outreach projects enable the richness, originality, and vitality of exploratory music to be discovered and experienced. GRAM is also a research center for computer music, which participates in this arts sciences synergy and develops techniques and tools for sound creation and composers. As a sounding board for societal and educational issues, GRAM is a natural space for exploration of emerging approaches to sound, as well as a driving force for inclusion, aimed at democratizing and opening up artistic practices. All of our projects integrate in the same way musical creation, artistic performance, digital instrument design, and initiation to computer music programming. Built in close collaboration with artists and educational and social partners, our workshops and courses are specially designed for the professional world, as well as for the general public, with or without a musical knowledge. The workshop package offered to pupils are aimed at all levels, primary, secondary, high school, and higher education. The workshops can be organized during school and after school time or outside of school time. GRAM also offers projects adapted to music schools, libraries and media libraries, medical and social centers, and any other structure or institution interested in its activities. GRAM also works to train emerging artists and to accompany them in their future professional environment with master classes on the use of the new technologies for sound and creation. So this is a pedagogy part of GRAM, and I let Stéphane talk about the research part of GRAM.
So thank you, Irene, for this presentation. So yes, I'm going to present more precisely the research team and what we do at GRAM and what we can propose for the MTMPHS projects. So basically, I'm going to share my screen now and give you some words on two projects, our main research projects, which is, yes. So GRAM Computer Music Laboratory has been working on different projects through the years. And for the project MTMPHS, I think we can probably use two of our main projects. First one is a FOSS programming language, which is a domain-specific language for audio signal processing, sound synthesis, electronic music instrument effect. Basically, it's a language that is supposed to be used instead of low-level languages like C, C++ to develop audio application for a very large variety of platforms. It means can be standalone application, plugins, web application, embedded audio devices, this kind of thing. So it's used mainly for concert, artistic production, education, research, open source projects. FOSS itself is an open source project hosted on a GitHub platform. And basically, FAUST is basically the domain-specific language, so a high-level specific language, but also a compiler that is able to translate this specification in very efficient low-level code, and a complete ecosystem that allows to use FAUST in a variety of projects. Like command line tools, we can embed the FAUST compiler into application using libFAUST, which is basically a library version of the compiler. But probably for the project, we will better use a web-based compiler. So basically, it's a way to embed the FAUST compiler into a web platform. And I will show you just after some of the possible use case. And we have a lot of libraries. So over the years, we have a lot of contribution from external DSP specialists who are able to contribute by designing different kind of DSP programming, like designing effect, polyphony instruments, physical modeling, reverberation, sound spatialization. This kind of things can be expressed in FAUST. So we have a full set of libraries. And we have different tools that have been developed over the years, like using FAUST into the MaxMSP environment, or in a standalone application, or in web application. And we have the sites if you want to have a look, and we have a list of like more than 150 applications in the Powered by FAUST list that show you a large variety of projects that have been developed using FAUST. So I can show you two web applications that we use. First one is the FAUST IDE, which is basically a FAUST programming IDE running completed in the web, so that you can design your source code here. You can program FAUST, and then at some point you can decide to run the code. And I don't know if you hear the sound. So basically here you have a full physical model design and expressed in FAUST that can be compiled in the web and running into an integrated web application with a full automatic produced graphical user interface. Another possible use case is the FAUST playground application, which is a simpler application designed for children, basically, and helping them understanding how you can program DSP audio application by connecting already made DSP blocks like instrument, producing some kind of sound. And here you have a second block, which is a reverb effect, and you can design an audio graph by combining instrument effect, spatialization effect possibly, and every block is a program as a FAUST piece of code. So FAUST is probably one project that we can possibly use here into the MTMPHS project. Obviously, we have to think about and discuss what part of the system would be adapted, and how we can possibly make some new light developments to have something working for the project. The second project that could be interesting to use is the InScore platform. InScore has been developed by Dominique Faubert, who was a researcher at Gram. He is now retired, but he's still working on the platform. And he's okay to help us using the platform, and probably doing some kind of consulting or this kind of thing to help us use the platform. So InScore is basically an environment for the design of interactive, augmented, dynamic musical score. I can give you a very short presentation using some slides that are also on the web site of INSCORE. First, INSCORE embed the Guido engine, which is a library rendering engine to display classical music notation using the Guido music notation language, which is a textual language that has been invented like 20 years ago by a German team. And we have the Guido engine that can be embedded in standalone application to display musical score, do automatic score layout, real-time rendering, and mix different kind of representation, score representation. And then this library can be used into different contexts on different kind of machines, different OS. And then the INSCORE environment basically embed the Guido library, but also extend it with additional components like textual elements, bitmap, picture, vectorial graphics, video files, and sound gesture graphic representation. So basically an INSCORE dynamic score mix all this, and you have to describe this with a specialized scripting language, which is a kind of extension of OSC, Open Sound Control, which is also something original in the INSCORE project. And the INSCORE environment then can be used as a standalone score viewer, but can be also embedded as a dynamic library. And now, since recently, it can be used in the other web platform. Yes. And the INSCORE environment has some innovative way to mix graphic and time domain with a kind of sophisticated graphic to musical time mapping. And all this network and web extension doing dynamic score, so having moving part onto a regular music notation. I can possibly show you quite rapidly the web version. You can possibly have a look. So the link is here, inscore.gram.fr, and here you have a set of examples. On the left, you have the INSCORE music notation, so the way to describe the dynamic score. Obviously, you have to learn this to be able to display what appears on the right, and then you have the rendering of the score with some additional elements. So you have here, you have a very simple example of a simple score with a moving cursor, and all this kind of thing, you have to describe it into the INSCORE language, basically. And to finish INSCORE, I can give you a more sophisticated example. It's a piece by a French composer and researcher named Alain Bonardi. And it's a piece for guitar and sound effect in real time. So here you can see the classic score written into the Guido language. And on top of that, you have some DSP processing that take place while the piece is playing. So basically, it's supposed to be played by a musician, and his of the sound will be recorded in real time and processed by some DSP effect. And here you have a presentation where you can possibly simulate the rendering by having a pre-recorded audio file that you can play inside the effect. So if I play it, probably you can maybe hear the piece played with some additional effects. So the point here is to see how you can design this kind of interactive augmented score. You can possibly have explanation on how the score is supposed to be used by pupils. So it's a demonstration of the kind of augmented interactive score we could imagine to deploy and to describe into the project. Okay, it's okay for me. Finish for me.
Thank you a lot, Stefan, for this presentation. And I think that now we can move to the presentation of the Fundacza of early music from Poland.
Yes, hello. My name is Paweł Osuchowski, and I'm so glad to be in such a good company. But after this information about ecosystem, our ecosystem is another story. We start around 30 years ago in Kraków with my wife, with Ula Stawicka. She is cembalo and organ player. I'm a singer and conductor. It was probably first Baroque ensemble in the Poland on the Jagiellonian University. And after some years, we moved to Szczecin. Now we live in Szczecin. This is a German city on border, but on a Polish side. So for us, it's a very interesting place to discover some terra incognita in early music. The name of our foundation is Fundacja Akademia Muzyki Dawnej. Dawnej, last word, mean ancient. So we are very interesting about ancient music, about source of our music culture. Of course, of musica sacra and some another part of our tradition, home tradition, folk tradition of not only Polish music, of course. Maybe I show you some picture about our group, because after 24 years in Szczecin, we have 3 different ensemble. First ensemble is Baroque group of friends of my wife, of Ula. So I show you my screen. Maybe is possible. Do you see? Did you see?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
So it was 2 years ago when consortium Sedinum. Sedinum, this is an ancient name of Szczecin. In Deutsche Sprache is Stettin. So consortium Sedinum ensemble from Szczecin, from Stettin. After 20 years, Ula is the first lady on the left side. Of course, there are really great virtuoso of historical period instruments. So flauto traverso, cello barocco, violino barocco, and so on another. So it was really after 20 years, a lot of edition of Szczeciński Festival Muzyki Dawnej, our first great production. So it's a festival of early music in Szczecin. After, of course, Consortium Sedinum goes to another 20 countries in 50 another places, around 500 concerts with 600 compositions and composers and 1,000 composition. It was presentation for some public person who know nothing about music, excuse me. But this picture comes from Szczecin, from Breslau, Wrocław, Leopoldino place in the University of Wrocław, famous places. This picture comes from Academy of Art in Szczecin, is very known for Federico. Academy of Art in Szczecin is the youngest academy in Poland, only 10 years. So we are glad to have a collaboration. Ula is professor on Academy of Art in Szczecin in Faculty of Early Music. This picture comes from Ukraine because we have a lot of connection with Ukrainian culture, because Ula was born in Lviv, now is in west part of Ukraine. So our ensemble is just like this. We play a lot of concerts, not only in a big center of Poland, but also in small villages. Here is place not so far from Szczecin, in Kołbacz village. It was great monastery of sisters 500 years ago. And in this place, we start our second great production. It's on the Gothic route. It's a festival with connection with touristic production and some exhibition, and with contact with people in this village on the Gothic route. So Ula have really great repertoire of music from West Pomerania. Now we call this area on the coast of Baltic Sea between Germany and Poland. So of course, it's production number 3 of our foundation is Vitae Pomeranorum, last word of the Pomeranian music. So we made some records of this masterpiece, but not so popular in German and in Poland, because it's only small masters from north of German and north from Poland. It's not from Berlin or from Krakow. So small masters, but with music is great. We have another production for the children with connection with dancers of early music, with singers. My group called from Szczecin Vocal Project. I have a octet of vocalists, and we made the same repertoire of early music between 15th and 17th century. Last picture of Ula ensemble. It's a wonderful place in Szczecin, in the National Museum, where we have great acoustic, and we every year we have a lot of concert. Last 3 years was very, very hard, because it was only you know, some film and online presentation. So it was something about Ula ensemble, and some picture I would like to show you about will be some collaboration with my group, Vocal Project, Szczecin Vocal Project. Just to tell me, do you see my picture?
Yes.
Yes. So we are over there. How I can make on the next picture. I have an orchestra of period instruments. Of course, in the great part of orchestra are strings, but also with wind instrument, with a lot of friends from German part of our region. So after 20 years in Szczecin, we have really some our public. Concert by concert, we have a lot of people to audience is really very enthusiastic for our production of pictures about project was Beethoven non plus ultra. It was every orchestra masterpiece of Ludwig van Beethoven, not only symphony, but theatrical music too, and concert and so on. It was 10 years of our production and some picture about our friends from from Athens, from Berlin, from Bratislava, Hamburg, Lwów, Prague, Reykjavik, Rome, St. Petersburg, Vienna, and from another countries.
Excuse me.
Yes, please.
We see only the PowerPoint.
Aha, nothing about it. Nothing about it. How can I say you? Wait.
Try to close the PowerPoint.
PowerPoint, I close the PowerPoint. Yes, I close.
Right.
Nie zapisuj. Okay, and now?
Now we see you, and now you can invite them.
Maybe like this.
Yes.
Yes.
Good.
Now you see.
Now we see the
Now
photos.
we will see.
So, okay. Beethoven non plus ultra, some project of our orchestra of period instruments. So sometimes we have friends from Scotland too. So we have collaborating with our friends, can I say, from Belarus, Croatia, Czech Republic, Denmark, Finland, Greece, Iceland, Japan, Germany, Russia, not Russia, Romania, Ukraine, United States of America, Slovakia, Sweden, and of course from Italy. So I'm really glad to be with so good company with you, and I hope it will be very interesting experience for our musician with Metamorphos project. So just like this, our friend from USA, very famous piano player, Kevin Kenner, and we sometimes sing with some special. This was from Romania, wonderful choir, wonderful early music from Orthodox tradition. So maybe enough from our part from Szczecin. Thank you excuse me for my broken English. Thank you.
Thanks a lot for your presentation. And so, last but not least, Pro Musica Malaga from Spain.
Good morning. My English is not too much better. My name is Javier Claudio. We are happiness to collaborate in this project, Metamorphoses. I am director and conductor of Pro Musica project of Malaga. I am going to read our biography. I prefer. Okay? The Orchestra Pro Musica project of Malaga was founded in 2009. Thanks to the proposal and encouragement of the Malaga Musical Foundation. It consists of an orchestral training program for young string instrumentalists. This program is supported by the Pro Musica Association of Malaga. The objective of the project is to currently offer support, training, and musical encouragement to about 100 children and young people between the ages 6 and 26. The most outstanding feature of the project is that the older students help as volunteers in the training of the younger ones, creating a very special interplay between all of them. The project is made up of the young orchestra of different level and age, school orchestra, young orchestra, and chamber orchestra. The orchestral project Pro Musica of Malaga, by its own merits, has become one of the cultural identity signals of a city where science its foundation, it has been carrying out an intensive activity in which in its first 12 years, it has already offered more than 350 concerts in them. They address monographic and chamber music program, creation of didactic shows and concerts. From Bach to the Beatles, Barroquísimo, A Todo Tango, Viva Vivaldi, interactive concert, inclusive concert, a concert with chores, Orfeón Pronunciatario of Málaga, Choral Santa María de la Victoria, and with soloists with international experience such as violinist María Dueñas, Víctor Aguirre, Santa Mónica Mialache, Cristina Dimitrova, cellist Carmen María Elena, flautist Almudena González, or pianist like David Caro or Daniel Muñoz, among others. Young national talent have also performed as soloists with ProMusica, such as Patricia Cordero, Jaime Maceira, Paula Mejía, Carla Guillén, Estela Lastre, etc. And they have even collaborated with the international musical personalities such as the baritone Carlos Álvarez, who is also a sponsor on the project, or the violinist Simon Fischer, soloist and teacher at the Guildhall School and Yehui Menuhin from London. ProMusica's orchestras also frequently carry out solidarity work, collaborating every year with Justified Cause and institutions such as the Roland McDonald Foundation, César Escariolo Foundation, Father Welling Foundation, Olivares Foundation, Vicente Ferrer Foundation, Children's Village, Manos Unidas, Caritas, among others. They have performed with public and critical success in the most important halls and auditorium of the city, such as Cervantes, Echegaray, etc. And they have also been presented in cultural events such as Contemporary Music Cycle in the Málaga Philharmonic Orchestra, Málaga Spanish Film Festival, Ateneo and Estrella Fenique Awards, Cadena Ser Programming, etc. As well in other municipalities and provinces such as Cuenca, Linares, by Nava de San Juan, etc. And also in international projection, participating in prestigious European festivals, Perugia, San Salvo, Music Inclusion, Siena, Montecatini or Florence Orchestra Giovanili in Italy, in the Charente-Maritime region of France, Eurocestris World Festival, or Aix-en-Provence, Bourges and Avignon in French Brittany, on the occasion of being named the European Capital of Culture. Also in Lisbon and Évora, Portugal, Lisbon Music Festival, or in the Austrian Auditorium, known worldwide as the Golden Hall of the Musikverein, where in the traditional New Year concert is performed, Concert House or Much in Vienna, Palazzo Foss in Lisbon, or National House Vidrari in Bratislava, among others. The proyectas of ProMusica project have obtained the following national and international distinction: Málaga Crea of the Ayuntamiento de Málaga, Orfeo Festival, Festival Cum Laude Viena, second prize, John Bohemia Praga, first prize, International Festival Bratislava, first prize, Florence International Choice and Orchestra Festival Florence, first prize, Estrella Fenique of the Culture, ProMusica project, nomination for the Antonio Garrido Cultural Award, live music contest Roquetas in Almería in category Firepress, the World Orchestra Festival Online Competition in Vienna, Silver Medal, Orchestra Infantil, and Chamber Orchestra and Young Orchestra Bronze Medal. The programs performed in the three groups cover the entire historical spectrum, from the Baroque to contemporary composer, including programs that address Spanish and Ibero-American music, as even some absolute world premiere, with authors such as Diana Perez, Martín Jaime, Wolfgang Sirois, Eneco Vadillo, Luis Sánchez, etc. Occasionally, string orchestras increase in number of the musicians to face symphonic programs such as the ProMusica Chamber Orchestra, which become the ProMusica Symphony Orchestra, to interpret Tchaikovsky, the Nutcracker, together with the Royal Ballet Academy of Malaga and Pedro y el Lobo, the Sergei Prokofiev, or Danzón number 2, the Marquez, among others. In the years 2011 and 2013, the Chamber Orchestra ProMusica has been the resident orchestra of the international competition Violin for Peace, and is currently the resident orchestra of the Cánovas Theater of Málaga. We have 7 recording albums, This hosted on the Downward portal Spotify and iTunes. Among the many works recorded, the first work recording for the ancient dance of the Malaga composer Emilio Lember and others. They also have an agreement with Canal Malaga TV for broadcast their concerts. Every year in June, the association organizes the Campus Pro Musica, where students from different parts of the country attend, and with us an international faculty with soloists and pedagogues. The Pro Musica project is included in the Golden Box on the Music in Spain edition Orfeo. The project orchestras have offered a successful annual session on the concert at the Maria Cristina Concert Hall, the result of the collaboration agreement between the Unicaja Foundation and the Pro Musica Association of Malaga. The closed project include national and international performance in the coming months. Thank you for all. I have a teacher, professor de violin in the Conservatorio Superior Músicos Málaga, solist and member of different symphony and chamber ensembles, associate professor of the University of Malaga, doctor and didactic from the University of Malaga, a musical collaborator in the radio. My thesis is about the use of the new technology in violin pedagogue, and a special use in the visual interaction with the song itself to improve the phrasing. Thank you for all. Good morning.
Thanks a lot
Thank
for
you.
your presentation. So we finished the presentation of the partners of the project. Even if each partner has his own collaborators, we can move maybe to the presentation of the activities of the project. So I'll share my screen again. Okay, so as you learned during the summary of the project that we have done before each partner presented himself, this is a project on digitalization in professional education, in professional training. So since some cultural practices entered the digital age, musical life has, of course, been affected by this, and in most of its aspects by this technological revolution. Of course, this has become more evident since the COVID pandemic has required some new protocols for social distancing, and also this affected a lot the musical life, and music schools and training centers have changed a lot their entire operation in order to continue their activities. With Federico and Giunti, with Ensemble San Felice and Giunti, we are doing some project in this context, so virtual stage and in the Metastat Virtus. So we have some experience in this in the use of digital technologies for distance learning, but this third project on this topic is also concentrating on digital aesthetics. So in this slide you can see a summary of the activities that we have to complete in this project, and some results that we have to produce for Metamorphose project. These results have been approved by the European Commission. So this is a sort of obligation of getting these results. The way of the achievement of we achieve these results is still in our hands, of course, and we have to develop a way for going to this, for obtaining this result. So we have the starting point, we have the ending point, and we have to fill the gaps between the starting point and then the ending point. Of course, the pedagogical innovation contained in these new techniques brings some changing in digital aesthetics, and that's why Metamorphose is the third part of is the third project on digitalization and distance learning that we are exploring. Maybe Federico want to say something about the history of our project and tell something about Virtual Stage and in Mediastat Virtus that are the starting point of Metamorphose project.
Thank you very much. Yes, very briefly, I would like to thank again Carla Zanin, because she is the conceptor of the Virtual Stage project during the pandemic, and we started to make some experimentation together with Nicola Cavina in the beginning, either in the Conservatory of La Spezia, either in our productions, of course, because of the pandemic. And we worked in the first project, Virtual Stage, on some methodologies dedicated to the opera sector. So mainly the target groups were two, the singers, together with the vocal coaches and the stage directors and orchestra and choir conductors. And the second target was the instrumentalists and the orchestra conductors. This topic is mainly related to online activities, so experimentation, which is also a very important word in our Metamorphose project, because we are we will relate the methodologies always to the practical experimentation. And also for this reason, it's very important to have musical groups such as Polish one and Spanish one, because we have to integrate the musical competencies and activities with the research and methodologies and technological competencies. I think this is also very important. It was also very important in Virtual Stage. And so mainly we worked on, I would say, sharing of materials, interactive possibility to share scores, and then with Jamulus, without latency, trying to make experimentation simultaneously, and exchange of tutorials prepared ad hoc. And these tutorials were integrated in the live performance with partial playbacks of pre-recorded parts and multi-track recordings, which were also the base for production and publishing of CDs, such as L'Orfeo by Monteverdi. And the other point, which was very important, has been the use of MIDI instruments, either for the recording, multi-track recording, either for the performances and rehearsals. We sampled with Nicola Cavina many instruments in historical museums for the Orfeo, so such as Regale, such as Baroque harp, and so on. And we used this either for recording, either for performances with mainly electronic keyboards, but also with EWI, electronic with instruments. Concerning Mediastat Virtus, the same concept was declined in the higher educational sector, because the partners in these projects are all conservatories, except for Giunti Psychometrics, which is the applicant and of both these projects. And with its experience, Giunti could guarantee the effectiveness of the activities. And this project so has two main differences. One is it is not in the professional training, but in the higher education throughout Europe, and is declined on chamber music, ensemble music. So it's more specific on these disciplines, which anyway, on the technological point of view, need to interact in distance and to use methodologies which are not so different from the opera in the end. I think that's maybe all for the moment, and I give the microphone to Andrea again.
Thank you, Federico.
Just sorry, add that of course this process gave the
next step to Metamorphose.
Yes, it has been the base of work of Metamorphose. In fact, either as researchers, either as partners, many of us, we are already involved in one or in the other or in both projects. So this is also a good thing to go on with this.
In fact, also Andrea is involved in all our projects.
In fact, and many of us as well. So this is very good to see also these projects connected and to see a general process and development of these experimentations and methodologies.
Thank you, Federico. For coming back to the results that we have to obtain with this project, this result have been approved by the European Commission. The project Metamorphose, as we presented in last March, was approved with a very high mark. We obtained, if I remember well, 86 on 100 points. And the activities that we have to develop include to research the needs for digital transformation in education, the development of experimental validation of methodologies in professional education, and the development of advanced tools and techniques from the latest research in this field of application. And then to disseminate the project and the results in different way. So we will have a website, but we have also to produce some live events, some recording, and some performance of the case studies of this project that are also the occasion for experimenting the tools that we have developed in the first part of the project. So to summarize the results of the project Metamorphose, we have to make some research about the actual situation in the digital transformation in professional training in the musical sector. Then we have to produce two documents that are guidelines for teachers with some tools, materials, and case studies used in the digitalization of professional training in music. Then we have to produce a database of open educational resources, and this must be available for free to all the people that want to see our results, and to produce a course that will be developed on Moodle. That is an open e-course platform that means to be deployed to teachers that are involved in the project, and then disseminate to all the interested users of our e-courses. Finally, we have to produce 5 events that are aimed to professional trainers with some presentation, live demos, concerts, and so on. During the project, we will have 2 occasions to be together in presence, that are the joint staff events. The joint staff events are 2. There are one in Lyon, the first one in Lyon in June 2023, and the second one 1 year later in Malaga in June 2024. There are some obligation by the Erasmus Plus agency, because this joint staff event must be in presence of 5 persons for each group. There are a little bit of tolerance for this number of people that should be present at the joint staff events, but a general guidelines for joint staff event is that 5 people for each group should be present at the joint staff event. Beside the joint staff event, we have the transnational project meeting. The transnational project meeting are meeting for managers. So at this TPM, transnational project meeting, should be present at least 2 managers for each group. Of course, all the other people are invited to participate, but the national agency tell us that 2 people for each, 2 persons for each group should be present at the transnational project meeting.
Thank you so much, Andrea. If I can...
Yes, of course.
It's very clear. The synthesis, a summary of the... Yes, exactly, the work package. Okay, please. I don't know if you want to... I just wanted to introduce this work package because this is the very new version of the structure of this Erasmus KA2 project. So for our friends who are already part of the virtual stage and immediate start Virtus, this is different. So for this reason, I would like to underline, we are not speaking anymore of intellectual outputs or project results, number 1, 2, 3, 4, but about these work packages. Work packages is a structured and articulated series of activities, and I think that is very clear in this slide. But what is important for us to clarify is that the previous slide, the questionnaire and guidelines, is exactly the project results Andrea was speaking before, and repository and the course as well. And then we have piloting and dissemination. The dissemination were the 5 activities mentioned in the slide before. And concerning piloting, I think that now we can explain, maybe Andrea wants to explain this, but it's just to tell to the old members that this is a little different structure, but mainly are the same contents.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Federico. Actually, the working package are substituting the intellectual output and the project results. It is important to understand that each work package will be some collaborative, the result of a collaboration between all the partners. There is some leaders of the working package, but the working package are the results of the collaboration between different the different actors. For example, the working package 2 is led by Esme. The working package 3 is led by Giunti. The working package number 4 is led by Ensemble San Felice, and the working package 5 is led by Pro Musica Malaga. But all the group are participating to the creation of this working package. So we divided the works in Metamorphosis in working package, and we numbered it because even if there will be some changing in working package when we are doing the piloting, there will be a changing in working package 2 and 3, but the working package are partially sequential. It means that the working package 1 is considered the management and will be manage all the other parts of the project. The working package 2 is a questionnaire about the situation in digital technologies and the writing of the guidelines for teachers. The working package 3 will be constituted by the open educational resource repository and the creation of the e-courses. The piloting will be the experimentation and the feedback of the previous part. It means that with the piloting, there will be some case studies that will verify the effectiveness of the working package 2 and 3, and they will probably help to build a version 2 of questionnaire, guidelines, repository, and e-courses. And then the working package 5 is the part of dissemination of these results, and it will be constituted by a website, some conferences, and the five events that will be the experimentation that will present the results, and will be the occasion of experimenting also the methodology. I don't know if Federico wants to add something.
Yes, add a few things. That the 5 events should be one for each country,
yes.
And this will be in the timeline in the last couple of months of the project. Concerning the piloting, I would like to specify just briefly something which is very important for our projects, starting also from virtual stage. We have an experimentation throughout the whole duration of the project. In the first part, this experimentation helps through the case studies to arrive to the guidelines, to all the work package. The piloting is something connected but a little different. Is an experimentation. A second level of experimentation is an experimentation after the production of the guidelines and after the production of the after the results of the questionnaire, and so we have an experimentation during the process of creation of the project results, and the piloting, which is the experimentation with the students, for other teachers, more on a large scale. And this is also very interesting, I think, in this project. So we have the possibility to experiment also during the process of the creation of this project result. We can speak about this later when we are going to the case studies.
Well, we can do it now because the experimentation is constituted by the case studies, and at the moment Ensemble San Felice and also Esme have already in mind some case studies, maybe we can talk about it now, but each partner can propose also some case studies. What is important is that the case studies will be the result of collaboration between partners, because Erasmus Plus projects are mainly concerned about international collaboration, and so that we would like to avoid. Federico is presenting some case studies, also Isme with the Simonetta Sargenti, that is a composer, and me, we are presenting a case studies, but each case study should be the result of a collaboration between partners, so that it is important to understand that the case studies must involve other people from different groups.
Okay,
Federico, do you want to say something?
Yes, yes. Thank you very much for this explanation. I agree, of course, on what you said. I would like just to present very briefly this case study of Monteverdi's Orfeo Entangled, which was the idea of Carla. And we started to talk about this case study already with Jan Orleret, as you remember, and with you, Andrea, and also in the process of the application more than 1 year ago. And what is this case study? This is the, maybe Carla wants to explain.
Can explain. Not very well.
Okay, we, as you know, we already worked a lot on this project Orfeo, and we have a lot of material which can be very useful for the project.
This was the
reason.
But also this was the first case study on which we
worked.
We did applicate the method, the virtual stage method.
Yes.
So this was the first one, and we carry out a lot of productions,
of experience of material,
production, performance production, live production.
So we have at disposal the video scenographies, we have at disposal the tutorials to train in distance, we have at disposal the scope, many things. This can be, of course, only a base of the new case study, because first of all, I know that we spoke already with all other partners about this, so they know already a lot about this. So I don't want to bother you with musical informations. The cast and the instruments will be from all partners, but what is very significant of the musical point of view is that we decided to create I think about 4 interludes by Simonetta and Timmy Carbone to integrate this very famous myth of Orfeo with the new composition and a new version.
So new aesthetic and new vision, but connected to.
And so on the musical point of view, we will have this very important integration and contributes by Simonetta and Timmy. They are here, so I thank them very much, and I also ask them if they want to add something. We will have a meeting with them in the next days to clarify better the structure of these interludes. I just would like to add that for these interludes, I would be very happy to integrate with the Malaga Orchestra with something pre-recorded, because if Simonetta and Timmy want to involve Malaga Orchestra, and if Malaga Orchestra is available, it should be very interesting for the project to make some pre-recorded parts in Malaga conducted by Javier, and then we can make in partial playback the live performance integrating other instruments and musicians. The other thing I would like to underline for Simonetta and Timmy, that we have wonderful singers in this group, so it's not necessary. I don't think personally, but we will speak about this later, that we need to add texts, but we can use voices. because we have wonderful singers. I don't want to mention because all of you are great singers here. And so you can also think to have female voices such as Dana and Mira, or male voices such Christos or Philip or other. Maybe I miss somebody now, but just to say that you have a disposal of the. And of course, you have these new compositions we integrate, but on this maybe Andrea and Simonetta and Timmy can speak better, integrate some acoustic instruments with electronic music, electronic instruments, and all this. So it's very important, this part in this case study. Concerning the partners, I spoke already and we clarified with Philip and others, more or less to have the complete set of the needed instruments. I asked to Pavel if it's possible for you to involve, for example, theorbo player, gamba player, violin player, because you have to come in 5 people. So if 2 are you and Ula, if you are so great to involve, theorbo is very important because we miss it. A low bow string is very important because we miss it. And also a high instrument such as flute, we will play it for 40. But
we have some friends, of course.
Yes, of course. So, but we can speak also by us, just to introduce you. And concerning Malaga, the contribution could be in the new compositions. This is my proposal in few words. The preparation will be online. We scheduled already a couple of rehearsals. You can find on the Google Drive. I sent already everything to maybe all of you. And this will be through Jamulus and Zoom. And we will prepare these rehearsals, of course, not only on the technical point of view, but also sharing my score and the new scores of the new composition, of course, of Simonetta and Timmy. Of course, for the new compositions, we will need some extra rehearsals with the involved people, because 2 is not enough. But this can be done, as Andrea said, because this is also structure of the project, to work in small groups, in smaller groups, and so on. Also, I will have maybe special meetings with some singers to prepare it and so on. So 2 rehearsals are the plenary sessions in which we will discuss also a little bit and see where we are. And concerning the direction, I leave the word to Carla. Anyway, I think we can use, maybe we can speak with Andrea and Carla, but with the Miro experience of the previous projects to make.
Maybe we need to know which will be the venue.
Yes, we should know which is the venue, and also is necessary to make a projection. What is very important from the side of, for example, of Grame and other skilled partners in this, is to enrich this this case study with interaction with the public, with maybe or I know, but we would like to make, maybe not possible for Lyon to do everything, but we could do at least for Malaga to arrive to a performance which could be somehow immersive for the public, which could also involve some XR experience, and also through Faust to have more efficient share scoring and use of these tools. But I'm not competent in this, so I think that we can have about these specific meetings with Graham and the other more competent in this sector.
Thank you, Federico. Effectively, the support of Graham can be very important in this, because since we have to make some creation with Timoteo and Simonetta, we can include some technological elements that use Faust in order to enrich the composition. And also I remember Graham has developed some with Faust some app that work with smartphones and can be downloaded by the public, and the public can use the smartphone for participating to the performance, creating some sound effect. It was something that was done a few years ago. Maybe Clara and Irene can tell something about that, or Stefan.
Yeah, it's a smartphone project. It was like 10 years ago, I think. Something started 10 years ago. So basically the idea was to design small instruments in using the Faust language, like effect and synthesizer, and have being able to deploy them on iOS or Android phones, and using the captors that you have on the phone. So you have to, like the gyroscope, accelerometer, this kind of sensors that you can directly connect to some elements of the sound, like the pitch, the volume, and have a kind of specialized little instruments that you can play. So it was the technical part of the project, and maybe Clara can better explain how it was used in concrete and real life situation, maybe.
Yes, maybe. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. Sorry about earlier being in between the metro and bus station. I couldn't speak in behalf of Graham, but I rented it really good. So it's really nice to meet you all. About the Smart Forest project, it's been created in honor of, to help a composer, which is Xavier Garcia, to create his play and his piece. And since then, it's a tool we developed for a pedagogical and cultural outreach program in classes and with the students. We did around, 40, 50 projects with the Smart Forest. And we also have Gameland, which is the second part of embedded programs for smartphone for kids. And so it will be an honor to imagine a project around Smart Forest for you guys and with you guys.
Thanks a lot, Clara and
Clara.
Stefan.
What I think effectively is crucial, the presence in this case study of Grame, because we can try to develop as much as possible the integration between this live experience with all the Faust wonderful and great competence. And also, for example, in the musical Internet of Musical Things, maybe some also possibility to have some exploitation on the screen through some sensors. I don't know, to involve the public. This is the section we would like really that Grame could integrate in the way you think better and more possible with our possibilities also in small scale. We have to see what we can do in concrete, but I think that something would be very important. I would ask to Simonetta and Timmy to say something if they want, because they are here, about the case study, if they want. Otherwise, not necessary. Simonetta or Timmy, please.
Good morning to all. Thank you very much for the inclusion in this project. I worked about 2 years with Andrea, 2 other case studies, and we published something about technology in education and try to use the Faust program to realize something in the live composition. And I hope now I hear for the first time a great explication of the project. Also, I hope to contact more Federico and the other composer. I don't remember his name. To organize this Timoteo, yes, to organize this case study more together. I don't know what other can I say now about our project, because it's at the first step, but I'm very interested to work on it, and on this case, on the other case with Andrea, that we have another project about another new composition and performance. Thank you.
And also, Simonetta, we have we are working on Tierkreis, and we are going to present it in 2 occasions, in Anversa and in Copenhagen. We are waiting for a reply by the organizer of these conferences, and we will present a small part of the case studies about Tierkreis that we are developing for the project Metamorphose as well.
Thank you, Andrea. Timmy, are you here? Can you?
Hi, everybody.
Video
I'm Timoteo. Nice to meet you all. I can put a video, yes. Hello.
Hello.
Ciao,
Hi.
Timmy.
Hi, everybody. As for now, I can talk in a big overview. I think what is the interesting possibility of this project is enhancing the idea that is part of the opera, of the intermezzo. This and also intermezzo in the sense, how can I say this? So let's put it this way. Opera, this opera Orfeo historically is crucial, and in many ways it comes from the tradition of intermezzo that was looking for a unity between the arts, and also, and I think this is the crucial aspect that we can investigate, it also inhabits an unstable space in performative art. It was a performance. It was also an aspect of a ritual, an aspect of carnevale, an installation. It was it was inhabiting in the context of an event, an unstable place, a transient space. Nowadays, with digital and this new space that is open to us, the digital world, we can see how this idea of intermezzo can inhabit this space. I don't know if I don't know if it's I don't know if it was clear or if you understood what I was talking about.
It's very clear to me, and in fact, this is just the idea to connect the tradition with the innovation, also in terms of repertoire, and
also to break the format.
Exactly.
To continue this kind of very vital, very alive, very unstable, and also very poetic approach to performative art, and to continue challenging the format with digital means, and it was very clear. And in the examples that you did last of Orfeo, but we can even go further. We can. So it's very exciting with the cooperation of all this, of all of you. We can make something very exciting, I think. So I'm very happy to to participate in this project, and I thank you.
In fact, this is a circular point of view. Is circular, is not a line. So
yes, exactly.
There is not a start and an end. Is
exactly, and even more important. Exactly, and then also even more important, something that we have to for sure try to do. There is no monodirectionality of stage and audience. We can make an immersive experience. That's what we have to really try to achieve in this project. And as a composer, also we have to, and I'm also inviting Andrea and Simonetta in this discussion. We also have to have a discussion of authorship, how we can kind of maybe step back or have different perspective, not to colonize this digital space, not to impose ourselves in this space, but to find interactive strategies with the audience. This is going to be very exciting, and also with these tools from Gram, we can do many interesting things.
Thank you very much, Timmy. I think
thank you all.
Of your explanations were very important to all of us to better understand.
And exciting.
I think it was clear for all the people that knows what an intermezzo is in opera, but not everybody know about that. So with this term, we are talking about a short part of a performance, and historically the intermezzo was a funny part into a opera seria in the Italian context. Then it changes a little bit with the opera in France, because for example, it was the origin of a very famous discussion between Italians and French. That was the Querelle de Buffon. And there are several forms of intermezzo, but what is important to our project is that this intermezzo can break the form and enrich Orfeo with something different, but that put in a different light what we are going to experience with Orfeo. And it can be also the occasion of include a lot of different technological part and maybe also some user experience, because the participation of public could be important in the intermezzo for enrich the opera. And I was thinking that in ESME we have a department, a parkour, that is the parkour design, that could be useful for enrich the technological part of the intermezzo. And with our professor of design, that is Vincent Viard, we can also propose something. Thank you, Vincent. We can also propose something with our parkour design that can be into the user experience part. I don't know if you, Vincent, do you want to say something about the parkour design in ESME, maybe? We can. We don't have the sound.
You have to put off.
Now, yes. Can you say something? No. Well. No, it's not working, Vincent.
In the meantime, in the meanwhile we wait for Vincent, I would like to underline a couple of things which are very important. One is that the intermezzo in this opera, in my opinion, is also to be related to the great Berio rendering of Schubert 10th Symphony. So it's a continuous, like Carla was saying, is a circular passage, very natural, between different musical languages. So this is also a type of intermezzo, even if it's not a funny intersection in the opera like it was, as you rightly said, Andrea, in the beginning, no? And the second thing is that, in my opinion, but this is just this open discussion, is not a guideline. These two composers, we have these two great composers, should try to describe the the Ectonius journey, because this project is called Orfeo and Ectonius journey. Maybe Carla could say something about this, but
it's a little complicated.
Is the journey in the interior.
Okay, Ectonio is from Greek language, okay, and the meaning is inferior, but also interior. Something is low, but also inside. So in this vision, what Orfeo did? Is Orfeo going to hell, which is a place of torture and pain, or Orpheus went into his soul? This is the pain of the artist, of the creation, and find that this pain, have a look to this terrible pain, but also so creative pain, because the artist without this pain is not able to create. So Orpheus is the shaman, the psychopomp, because he was able to go to make a journey, a travel from the visible world to the invisible and come back. So he was able, like every artist do, that go inside, look at the pain, look at your fear, and come back stronger and with a new vision. So that is the same was that Dante made in his journey. His journey was a little different because it was a Christian Catholic journey. So they divided in three different parts this Ctonio space, but it's the same because in ancient Greece, of course, there was one, also only one space after death. And so it's exactly the same, because both they will find the light of what? The light of inspiration. And from where does the inspiration come? The inspiration comes from the God, from we can call what we like, God, the divine, the spirit, the soul, but it's the same. So inspiration needs a circular journey from pain to light, from pain again and to light again. So it's very, very few words what is the structure of the idea. I don't know, it's clear.
Okay. Anyway, so thank you very much. We have the possibility, so in this meeting in Lyon, to make on the 10th of May, on the 11th of May, this performance, and the day before we are trying to, as in other projects, to set up another event, which will be at the moment covered by Tierkreis, by Stockhausen. And also I invite, for example, Pavel, because if you are a conductor, so you can try to think together with me, with Andrea, if there are some other singers, musicians together with your group, to make some experiences in distance and to prepare maybe one piece of 15 minutes or something that you like to perform during this first concert. Of course, this is very free also for the others. I speak to Pavel because at the moment he's a great conductor, and of course I would like that also he has the possibility to give us his art and his experience in the project. And normally the guidelines for these case studies are to involve different partners in different cities, so we can make experimentation. Not only one group makes its own performance, but together with others. and it's very free. But I think that by the end of January, we should have a clear program also for the first concert, Andrea, no? I think, because we have
Yes,
to...
yes, that's true, because
I have to
June is
go.
arriving very, very fast.
Sorry, I have to go. I have
Ciao,
another
Carla.
meeting. Bye-bye.
Also, maybe
Bye.
we have to include Limbiar, that is a choral conductress, and also continuo player and pianist and singer. So maybe with
Yes, of
this.
course.
Okay, good.
Yes, I think this is very important to have a contribution in this first concert to all the partners in a very way, different partners, different musicians, and to experiment something together during the process. Also, what is important to say is this is connected also to the second joint staff events, because in the second joint staff events in Malaga, we should try to do the same. We should try to make again this Orfeo, because after the experience in Lyon, we will have for sure, on the technological point of view, the possibility to develop more the integration with the apps, tools, and everything. And concerning the case studies, we will have for sure the possibility to have from Javier a live performance of his orchestra, but maybe he also could involve maybe couple of singers, make a piece with some singers, and of course we will have space to other small groups, transversal groups between partners, which can be the same pieces, such as Still Cries, or can be other pieces. It's not obligatory to change. It's not obligatory to keep the same pieces, because the aim is the experimentation. So if to keep the same piece, but to develop in this piece and this experience more things, it's useful, you can keep it. If you want to change, it's possible to do it. So we have to think in the case studies to 4 concerts, 2 in Lyon and 2 in Malaga. One will be Orfeo, which will be once in Lyon and once in Malaga, and the other are by your propositions. Okay, thank you very much.
I have a question.
Yes, Simonetta.
For this project of Orfeo, you have made scheduling timeline for the
yes
proposal.
We have a meeting between us with you and Timmy and Andrea, Wednesday 11th January at 3 p.m. Italian time, but this is just for composition. I mean, mainly for you. Of course, it's an open meeting. All our meetings are open, but not necessary for all the others to take part in this phase. Then I already posted on Google Drive, we have a shared folder, the schedule of the online rehearsals. And also you can find a provisional planning with the rehearsals in presence in Lyon. Of course,
Federico, maybe we can talk now about the Google Drive and the tools, so that every partner can find information about this. So I'll share my screen with this tool that we are using for most of our project. We are using a Google Drive for administrating the project, storing documents. There is also the formulaire. There is a management tool. There are some information about the meeting, and there are the case studies. So on this Google Drive, all of you can access to this. If this is not the case, please let me know as soon as possible, because it is important that all the partners can access to this folder. And I've shared with you in the email that invited you to this kickoff meeting the the link to this Google Drive. So the management part is concerned by managers maybe, and in the management part, I think that Francesco will talk about the tools that we are going to use for the administrative part. In the case studies, there is two subfolder. One is Tierkreis that we are developing at ESME, but we invited you to participate to these case studies, of course. And the other one is Orfeo Untangled. And here you have a score, but
yes, the third file is the schedule. Just to answer to Simonetta. Yes, you see, there are some 3 rehearsals. Yes, these 3, and then of course you can find the yes. This is provisional cast and everything. Yes, so you can check it.
And then there are a description of the case studies and something that will be
it's all
provided
in the folder.
Yes.
Yes, of course you can you will implement your notes about your compositions.
Yes, this part is about the Tierkreis by Stockhausen. Then there is the part of Orfeo, and so we can include also the case studies of other groups.
In fact, yes, in fact, I wrote, Carl, if you can open again, sorry, Andrea, just 1 second. You can see that in this document, of course, then we can share in 2 documents. Now go a little, vai un po' più su, ecco, un po' più su, ecco. Concert 1, Wednesday 7 June, yes, 2023. Stockhausen program to be completed, peace with power to be confirmed. Just this is my proposition, but of course it's free. Concert 2, 8th June on Thursday, rehearsals, yes, and Easter Fest and Tangled. What is very important normally in the meetings, the last day in plenary session is the Friday, 9th June. And normally we finish in the morning, so in the afternoon, who wants to go away is possible to do it. Because on the Saturday normally, which will be 10th June, we will have the management meeting in the morning, which is, as Andrea said, is open to everybody, but it's requested the presence of 2 instead of 5 participants. Of course, if all the 5 want to stay is good to better understand the project. But this is just to explain the structure and the reason why the concerts are normally on Wednesday and Thursday, because on Friday somebody might already go away.
Okay.
And then you can find, Andrea, io ho fatto anche in the folder meetings, I prepared already very simple.
Yes.
Very
Let's
simple
go there.
planning. I want to show this. Meetings, yes, meeting Lyon, for example, but this is just very provisional, just to explain that normally the day is divided in the half day of methodology and research and half day of experimentation. And so we will start on the afternoon of Monday to give time to everybody to arrive there. And then we have always these 2 main activities. Thank you very much, Andrea.
Okay, I would like to say that the methodology that we will use for the rehearsal is networked music performance. Part of you are already aware of this kind of technology. We are using a open platform for networked music performance that is called Jamulus. If I can show you. So this platform are currently used by our group to allow to rehearse in real time with distance. So if you are not used to this kind of technology, please contact me as soon as possible so that we can solve the problem of during making a networked music performance, because we will use this kind of technology during the rehearsal. So it is better to be already used to this kind of technology before the first rehearsal of Orfeo.
Yes, I would like to add concerning the rehearsals that we will try, also in the past, we tried to combine more tools. So Jamulus and, for example, Miro for the staging, or Jamulus and Zoom just to see each other, or Jamulus and Reaper and Zoom, because we can use some tutorials for the with some pre-recorded parts, and we can play on it.
Exactly.
Yes. Thank you very much. I think is enough about the case studies. Then if we have some questions or so, maybe we can try to. What do you think?
Good. If
Maybe
there are no
Vincent wants to say something about the.
Yes, because in ESME we have a department that is doing design, and so we have some students in maybe in second and third year of the last part of the formation that is called INGE 2 and 3. That can be interested in doing some work on digital technologies. So this is still possible, but we will see with the Department of Design of ESME if we can add some additional part to something interesting to the project.
Okay.
If there are no other questions, maybe we can move to the administrative part.
Yes, please.
And so I invite maybe Francesco Cirri to tell us something about the administration and funding part of the project.
Okay, thank you, Andrea. Maybe I need to share my screen again, but it should work because I was already enabled before. This is, of course, the most boring part of the meeting, but we all need the money to do what we have to do. We need to receive the funds that we were awarded by the European Commission, and that requires that we follow some rules and procedures. I will try to keep this as simple as possible, and also to show you where you can find the relevant documents. So I have not prepared slides for this, but there is a file that I would like to show you. Maybe maybe it's useful that I upload this on Google Drive also. It's a timeline, but it's a very specific timeline for reporting and administration. I think you can see my file now. This is to clarify the basic data that we need to know and to take into account to manage the project. The start date is the 30 November last year. It's 36 months, so the end date is 29 November 25. So these are the 3 years of project activities. Within this period, we have a few very important deadlines. The first one is on near the half of the project. Maybe it's exactly the half of the project. On 30 May 24, Esme, as a project coordinator, is required to submit an intermediate report to the French National Agency. This is mandatory. In this report, Esme will describe the activities that have been done in the first half of the project, and provide details on the contribution of each part. So it's very important that before that, this is the wrong date, sorry. That before this deadline, all the partners can provide information on what they have done to Esme. And in a few minutes, I will tell you what are the most important information that you have to send to the coordinator. So each of us, Giunti, that I'm representing now, and all the other partners, should send to Esme within April 24 a report on the activities they have done in the first half of the project. The other very important, the most important deadline, of course, is after the end of the project. Esme is required to submit a final report to the national agency. And this is the most important deadline, because we have been awarded a 400,000 euros grant for this project, but the final approval is the approval of the final report. So all the money that we received before has to be considered an advance payment of the final amount that will be defined in approving the final report. Okay. That is to say that in principle, to receive our grant, we have to complete the project activities and also submit a final report of sufficient quality, and provide all the information that are required by the national agency. After these reports, there will be payments, an advance payment at half of the project, and then the final payment. These are 2 months. The national agency takes 2 months to approve the report and send the payment to the coordinator. The coordinator will in turn pay the partners the amounts that they should receive according to the project budget. So since the the payments are connected to the approval of reports. It is a key part of the management process that every one of us properly reports their activities. The partners to the coordinator, and the coordinator for with mandate of all partners to the national agents. That is why I'm insisting on these deadlines, because I mean it's not enough to have an application approved to actually receive the grant. We also have to be we also have to have the reports approved. Then going backwards to the beginning, there is also a first advance payment, the first pre-financing. It's the 40% of the budget that the national agency had to pay within the end of the last year. I ask, please, Andrea, to confirm this, but as far as I know, they stayed within the deadline, and the first pre-financing has already been received by ESME.
Yes, I confirm
correct?
this. Yes, that's it.
So the ESME should pay within the end of this month the 40% of their budget to all partners. I hope it's possible to respect this deadline. It will not be easy because it's already 9 January, so there is only 20 days. But I'm confident that they will pay us as soon as possible. To receive this first prepayment, an agreement with the coordinator should be signed. So in the next few days, you will receive a proposal, an agreement to be filled and signed by all partners. This is very important because after signing the agreement, ESME will be able to pay all partners their part of the first pre-finance.
Sorry if I have a question, Francesco, because maybe the agreement is ready and we received it or not yet? Just to know, sorry, because maybe I lost the passage.
It is all, as far as I know, it is almost ready. It will be sent to you in the next few days.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
So please fill it and sign it and send it back to ESME as soon as possible when you receive it, because of course we want to get the project started properly, and I think the pre-financing is very important in this regard, because of course there are things to do, there is staff to employ, and the advance payment is needed for that. This is the 36 months timeline. I used the two different colors to just to distinguish the part that has to be reported in the first intermediate report, and the part that the update that will be made in the final report, the last half of the project. I'm almost finished. I would like to show you what documents are needed for reporting. And I would like, if I can, I would like to do this in Google Drive so that you also see where you can find the documents. Sorry, just a moment. I'm closing a few windows because otherwise I'm not able to find the window I want to share myself. Here we are. Okay. I think you can see it now. This is the root of the main folder of Metamorphose in Google Drive. There is a subfolder called Management that Andrea already mentioned, and here you can find this contractualization. This is another subfolder where you can find the documents. The most important document, beside the agreement that will be sent to you individually, because of course they are all different, because they have to mention the name of the partner and also the specific budget that the partner has. In this subfolder, maybe we will move this somewhere else that is easier to reach. You can find this kit. These are all documents that will be useful for project management, but the most important one is this one. This is a timesheet template. This will be, of course, adapted by Esme with the project law and reference to the number of the project and so on. This is the general template that has been provided by the national agency. But I can show you now how this is to be filled. This is individual. That is for each member of the staff that is working on the project. You have to fill one timesheet, or maybe even more, because this document is intended for strictly monthly timesheets. No. Okay, so we will stick to that. Usually I prefer to have more than 1 month on the same sheet, because otherwise there are too many spreadsheets. But this is the model that the template that has been provided by the national agency, so I think we should stay with this. So it will be one timesheet for each month and for each person. Here you have to write the name of your organization, then the name of the person, the member of the staff. Then there is a staff category. There are 4: manager, researcher, teacher and or trainer, technical staff, administrative staff. The same person can be both manager and researcher, for example, or researcher and technical staff. In this case, 2 different timesheets should be filled, because for reporting purposes, it's important to not only distinguish the contribution that each individual has made to the project, but also how much of the work has been done by managers, by researchers, and so on. So if you change the staff category, you have to fill another timesheet. Then there are these two rows are 8 and 9. You have to write the general terms of your work relationship. How many days per year and how many days per week you work for. I mean, the person that is filling this works for the organization. And then the number of daily working hours. Usually it is 8 hours per day, a full day of work. It can be different. At Giunti it is different because there is a contract that has a different number of daily working hours. So you have to write what is the proper number in your case, then the year and the month of the timesheet. For each day of work, there are a few information that you have to fill here. The date, the working time, and then we will see what this means. This is we can see from this column that this was conceived for the earlier projects because now we don't speak so much of project results, but work packages. And maybe we can interpret this way, that here we can write the number of the work package and of the activity. As I think you have seen before, but you will be given all the details in the documents of the project. All work packages are divided into a series of activity. So there is work package 2, but then there is 2.1, that is one activity, and then 2.2 and so on. So here you can just write like WP means work package 2.2. It's the second activity like this. It's the second activity of the second work package. This you can find these numbers in the application and in all the description of the project, so you will become familiar with this, so that there is no doubt. Here, a very brief description. You are not required to tell in detail what you have done on a specific day, otherwise reporting would become an endless task. We don't want to waste your time. It's just a very, very brief, let's say 5 words description of what you have done, and then the place, usually the place of your the premise of your organization, but it can also be in a different place, of course, depending on the activity that you're doing. And then the working time is a day or fraction of days. In the past, we used to work with hours, but now, at least in this template, we are required to count the days. So if you work a full day, you write 1. If your full day is 8 hours and you worked 4 hours, you write 0.5, and so on. It is explained here. Time unit to use, day in increments of a quarter. Okay. This is, of course, automatic. There is a function counts the total number of days in the month for this person. And then you have a summary here where you can see how many working days have been spent on the work packages. Here is project results, unfortunately, but I didn't have time to update this before the project start. And so we will do this for them. We will write here and so on. I expect that there will be some questions about the timesheets, because this is usually what happens with these projects. So if you at first find it strange or have doubts, it's normal practice. It's usual.
Thank you very much, Francesco. I have a question. This division in 7 project results is provisional, or it will be 7 because I thought that the division should be in 5 work packages, right?
As I said before, this is not updated. This was provided by the national agency. It's not by ESME. Since it's just a template, we have to adapt it to the project. For example, we have to insert a project logo.
Yes, but this is not about the logo.
We will also change this because it is confusing.
Exactly. For this reason,
the problem is that the French National Agency was very efficient in that they were able to send us the whole kit of documents for reporting right at the beginning of the project. So they were efficient in this regard because, as we know, not all national agencies are so quick in sending the documents, the templates, and so on. But they sent us all the documents. It's for who is familiar, like Federico and I, with KA2, it is very clear that this template has been conceived for the earlier projects, and we will adapt it.
Okay. In fact, it was just this my question. Because I see the phrase project result instead of
yes, we will, as I
yes, it's clear. Thank you very much.
It will become something like this.
I would like to answer to Stefan in the chat. Of course,
usually, sorry, another thing. Usually, we don't use timesheets for management. But in this case, since the rules have changed and not everything is detailed, is specified to the last detail, I think it would be safe for all of us if ESME could ask to the national agency if they wanted timesheets also for work package 1, because it is possible that in that case we have to fill them also for management.
I think, Francesco, that we have to put the management as activity of the work packages 2, 3, 4, and 5, but not as work package 1. But I agree with you that it's better to ask.
It's a different question.
No.
Yes, Federico, thank you. This also can be confusing, so let me explain. Federico is mentioning the manager activity in the development of results, because we still have to produce results. So if you have in work package 2, you have to develop guidelines, a book, whatever. You have an activity that involves researchers for sure, but maybe also managers that coordinate the work group of the organization. In that case, you will have some days of manager activities inside the work packages 2, 3, 4, and 5. What we are not sure, and this had to be reported here using the reference number that is 1 for manager. So you have to, in staff category, it's 1 for manager, okay? And this can be, for example, work package 2. This is clear. What my doubt is about work package 1, because until 22 in the earlier projects, we were not required to fill time sheets for management. But in this case, I would like to be sure, because it is a specific work package, the general management of the project, which includes, for example, this meeting. We are doing management activities. This meeting is under work package 1. We are all working on work package 1 right now. Yes. Do we have to report this 3 hours meeting in another time sheet or not? I think not, but I think it's safer for all of us if
it's better to ask.
Yes, thank you, Francesco. It's very clear.
And sorry, but this is connected to what I showed you before, because at half of the project, when you will have to report to ESME the activities that you have done in the first half of the project, you will also have to send to ESME the timesheets of your staff. Since it will be a lot of documents, maybe it will be useful to start filling the timesheets much earlier, not waiting for 24. Okay.
It's clear. Thank you. It's very clear to me. Thank you so much. I would like to answer to the chat of Stefan. Of course, we can provide to everybody some previous examples how to implement this. But also personally, and I say this particularly to the partners I involved, so to Pavel, to Javier, and to Christos, we can do it together for the first time. So I can show a little bit how it's necessary to be done. And of course, I'm also at your disposal for any specific questions. Of course, Francesco is the manager, but also I can help in this if necessary. Okay?
Yes, Federico, and I think it will be a useful exercise for us as well, because it's rather different or partly different from what we are used to. So we will have also to think about it, how exactly how to fill them.
Yes, anyway, you will have full support for this, and we can manage very well together, I'm sure. Thank you, Francesco.
I have a question. There is a limit on the number of hours that we can put in the timesheet. I mean, sometimes it happens for the last project, for example, that Federico and me we worked more than what we declared. It happens, but we have some limits that are done by the budget, isn't it, Francesco?
Yes, sure.
I'm not sure what you want to know, Andrea, but well, one thing is for sure. We have a 400,000 euros grant. We will not exceed that, because it is also the maximum that can be. This is maybe we can share this information with you if you don't know it. It's the absolute limit of KA2. It's not possible in this program to have more than this. It's maximum. So
yes, but what I want to say,
even if you work 1 million hours, it will be 400,000 euros. Then there is the budget of each part.
Yes, I understand what Andrea asks because I think that Andreas wants to aware that there is a limit in the budget which is shown in the partner's budget in terms of days per each category. So of course, if you have, for example, 20 days for researchers and you work 40 days, this is your co-financing in terms of time and resources, but the budget will be not possible to be more. So
yes, there is a number of days for the researcher, a number of days for the technicians, a number of days for the managers.
Exactly, and administrative staff as well. In fact, okay.
As Federico said, you can exceed those numbers, but this will not translate into an increase of your budget because, of course, it's possible to transfer part of the budget from one partner to another. And in fact, we are we still don't have the last details, but I can tell you that Giunti and Ensemble San Felice have an agreement that part of the budget of Giunti will be transferred to Ensemble San Felice. So compared to what has been written in the application, the budget of Ensemble San Felice will be higher and the budget of Giunti will be lower. But this is an agreement between partners. It's not that one partner by themselves can increase their budget because the total amount, as I said, is that. So,
and
if you need to work more, someone has to work less, and you have to balance.
Yes, and the same is for the joint staff events, like our colleague Paolo Lippi was used to say. If we all go by horse or by foot to Lyon, we will receive 275. If we want to hire a Rolls Royce and go by Rolls Royce with driver, we will receive anyway 275. And the same is for the accommodation. If we want to sleep in a wonderful park in Lyon on a bench, it's possible, and we will receive anyway the amount. If we want to go in 5-star hotels and pay 400 euros per day, is also the amount per day is the same. So what in few words we are speaking about, like they name now in European Union, lump sums or unity costs, if you prefer. So what is important, and what was Andrea and Francesco were underlining, is to realize the activities we are in charge from the European Commission. So our responsibility is to realize the activities for which we received this money. This is very important on the ethical point of view, for sure, but also on the concrete point of view, because if we don't realize these activities, we don't receive the money. So it's very important to have this clear, and to do this, it's very important between us to cooperate. If it's difficult, because we are about 40 people involved in this project. So we are many people, different countries, different languages. But this is what is important, is to cooperate. If we have doubts, we have to share. So it is to realize these activities in cooperation. This is I would say the last synthesis that also with Andrea we were saying this morning, by email. Or by night, yes.
Yes, by night, and
so I think if there are no other questions, it's 12:30, and I also personally I should go.
I want to thank you all for the participation to this first meeting. And I'm so happy that ESME can count on the help of such great partners for the realization of this project. And we will send you in the next week the agreement for the agreement to be signed for receiving the first account of 40% of the budget of Metamorphose for your for the partners. So we will use the Google Drive for storing all the information and all the document of the project. So please be a little bit vigilant about what we are uploading. Anyway, the communication will be done, official communication will be done by email. And we can create a smaller group that will use other different kind of communication, such as instant messaging, but the main communication will be done by email.
Yes.
Do you have any question, any bottom line about the project? Any comment?
Yes.
Should we
Stefano?
upload the presentation we did for the kickoff? Are you interested that
Yes,
you...
yes. Please
can...
put it in the folder kickoff meeting. Yes.
Christos?
Okay.
Yes, my first name is Demosthenes, Federico. Christos is okay. I will
sorry, Demosthenes, Demos.
No problem with that. The first one that I wanted to ask was the same that Stefan already asked. You will upload this meeting so we can show again the parts, especially the last one from Francesco.
Yes.
It's very important to see it again and again. So I guess I will upload.
Yes, I will upload in the meeting.
In this Google Drive. And you will upload and we can find that on Google Drive.
Yes, that's
correct.
it.
Okay. That's
okay.
I think now we can talk specific from. You can hear me? You hear me now?
So and so.
So and so. Is it better now?
Yes, now better.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay. So I would like to ask, I think, Federico now about how can we talk from some musical details? I know it's
Yes, you can write me because I don't hear very well. You can write me about musical things and I will answer, of course.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I would like to say that I'm very happy to be part of this. I'm taking you now, which is have a little bit fun from a place is called Metamorphosis. This place is hometown name is Metamorphosis.
Okay, we didn't understand very well, but okay.
Okay. So, yes, Austin. So, thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. So this is the end of our first meeting. I hope to make a wonderful cooperation with you. And if there is no other question or remark, I'll say talk to you soon. Okay.
Thank you.
Goodbye, everyone. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you very much.
Hello.
Thank you very much. Goodbye. Have a nice day, everyone.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Grazie.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Grazie. Ciao.
Ciao. Bene, dato bene.
Tutto bene allora, dai, ci aggiorniamo presto.
Ok, perfetto. Grazie a tutti.
Grazie Francesco.
Grazie Francesco.
Grazie Andrea.
Ciao,
Andrea,
ciao.
ti devo dire due cose, ti chiamo.
Ok, va bene.
Rimani ancora 2 minuti, c'è una persona che mi sta chiamando, ma ti devo dire due cose, no poi ci si dimenticano. Poi ci sentiamo con tutti. Vai, ciao.
Sentiamoci su WhatsApp, Francesco.
Io se butto giù, allora non so, butto giù la riunione.
Penso io, butto giù, sì,